All right. Thank you again for joining us today on Chamber Chat. We are very fortunate again to have one of our great chamber member businesses here in Magnolia, Jason and Angie with the Magnolia Paw Spa joining us today. If you don't frequent them, you probably don't have a pet because everybody who does go there. So Jason and Angie, thank you again for being with us. And if you don't mind, lead off with a kind of a summary of your business story. How did you get started in doing this?
So Angie and I met back in 2001, where we both worked at a veterinary hospital, and kind of that's how we first met. And in 2012, the grooming salon that she was working at became available for sale, and so we bought the equipment and kind of the phone number and opened up our own shop.
So about 8 years now, roughly?
8 years in July 5th.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks.
So, one of the things we've been talking to a lot of our members about is just, obviously COVID's on everybody's minds. What are some things that you have learned? What are some things you've had to adapt related to COVID?
Well, I would say, obviously, just working with pets, we've always had a really good sanitizing protocols in place and things like that. But it does take a little extra time and a little extra effort and thought, now just with all the customers and just people touching things and just upping our sanitization game. And then what else with COVID?
Just we don't take like the collars and leashes. We don't hold on to anything. That we just take the pet itself.
Right.
And kind of we get them in and out. Try to get them in and out as quickly as possible to minimize the time in the salon.
Right.
And we have barriers in place between employees where social distancing is impossible, and had to rearrange the salon basically to kind of comply with the 6-foot rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think overall, I guess just a little bit more, but since we've always just kind of had a lot of things in place, we haven't had to adapt too much to it, but I guess it's just always there and always on our mind, and we're just
aware of it.
Yeah.
That's nice. Good to hear. Well, tell us, if you would, what's something interesting about either one of you, both of you, what hobbies, what interests you have outside of taking care of people's pets?
Angie has kind of an interesting upbringing.
Not really. He thinks it's really interesting, but I grew up in Montana, and I grew up on a cattle ranch, kind of in the middle of nowhere. And so I was always in 4-H, and I was always, I don't know, I guess I always just loved animals and just had like a passion for it. But yeah, he thinks that's really cool that I grew up there, and it's, I don't know, a lot, yeah, it's a lot different than where he grew up. So, but yeah, so I guess that's something kind of interesting about me. So
the love for animals is deeply ingrained.
Yes. 4-H. I mean, I was in 4-H from the time I was super little. I would show sheep. I would show.
We have pictures.
Oh, Jason had this. See my sheep. Oh.
Nice.
First grooming.
Yeah, I had to groom them. But yeah, and then I would show steers, and I showed my dog for a few years, and yeah, so I've always done that. So
that's where a lot of those actual skills you use today started. Is
a little bit, yeah. Yep.
I didn't know.
What's interesting about you?
Let's see. I'm also a transplant from elsewhere. I was born and raised in Las Vegas, Nevada. And let's see, I collect notebooks, pens, and outdoor gear. I have lots of that too. So.
Right. Yeah, could the two of you have grown up in more different places?
I know, right?
Yeah.
He loves coming to Montana with me, but I don't love going to Vegas with him. So.
Especially this time of year.
I know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's a dry heat. It's heat.
It's heat, yeah.
If you would, I know I've talked to you about this before, but I think others would like to hear it too. Since you're dealing with dogs all the time, what are your favorite breeds of dogs and why?
That's a loaded
we
question.
were talking about this beforehand. Like, I think we kind of differ a little bit, but
So we handle a lot of dogs, obviously. So we don't know what they're like at home. We just can know what they're like in the salon.
And they're all great. They're all great.
all
all
great.
great,
Everybody's
100%.
great. Perfect angels.
But I would say some of my personal favorite dogs that come to see us are golden doodles.
Yeah, they do have a very sweet temperament. Very, very sweet. I think that they require a lot more grooming than people realize. But yeah, as far as like their personalities go, they're super cute. I like just kind of your OG breeds. I love like a Shih Tzu. Just I like Bichons. I don't know, just kind of things like that. And my favorite is a Pekingese, but there not very many people have those. But just a mutt. Mutts are good too.
And you have mutts of your own, correct?
We have one mutt, yes, and then we have one Labrador Retriever. So Howie, he's snoozing. I don't know if you could see, he's wearing a little bow tie. He's got dressed up for the event. But yeah, we had him DNA tested. He's a Pomeranian poodle, so he's a little bit.
He comes from show lines.
Yeah, well, they say. But yeah, so I think I would say that, yeah. And then just any dog that's I don't know, some dogs you can have a breed and it's perfect and so wonderful, and then the same breed could have just, behavior issues, or I don't know, just things that,
a lot of variables.
Yeah, so many variables. So
you never know what they've been through.
Right. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
It is interesting to we have a front row seat to the dog world and to see what like a certain breeds become trendy,
right?
And people start getting a bunch of them. So right now the trend is Bernie doodles. We get a lot of
they're mixing everybody's trying to come up with something new and to mix something with something, but yeah, like Jason and I were talking about, what did you say? We handle more dogs in a week than the majority of people deal with in their entire life. So we see all sides of it and everything, but yeah, we love them all for sure. So
Right. So one last thing I'd like to ask you is kind of looking ahead. What are you hopeful about? What are you excited about in the future?
Well, obviously it's been kind of bleak lately, but I'm optimistic about the future and that we can get COVID under control. And one of the things about grooming is that dogs are always going to need grooming. So even during a bad economy, or unless we're locked down completely, we can still have our business running, and we do a service that the community needs, and so hopefully we can keep going into the future. So
yeah, I agree.
Well, if you don't mind, for those who may not know where you are, describe your location physically, and then also describe how they can follow you, your website, social media, those kind of things.
Sure. So our address is 3111 West McGraw, and we're Suite 102, so right in between Ian Fitness and Queen Margarita Pizza. And we have a Facebook, which is Magnolia Paw Spa. Instagram, same thing, Magnolia Paw Spa. And then what else? Oh yeah, and then our website obviously is just magnoliapawspa.com. And yeah, so we're taking new clients. We've added a little bit of extra staff, so we're available, and just looking forward to meeting everybody's pets.
I know some of my favorite photos of dogs are found on your and they usually turn out real dapper, kind of like the example we saw a little while ago with a nice bandana, a bow tie, or
they know they look good.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for being part of this, and thank you for being just an integral part of our community. You bring a lot of joy to our community, so thank you for being a part of that.
Well, thanks, and thanks for everything that you do too. For doing this and spotlighting people, and yeah, it's really nice. So.
All right. Have a great one. Take care.
All right. Bye, Jason.